hope to play it. We're just about ready. And the best way to say Happy New Year is a tip of a basketball for fans inside John Paul Jones Arena. This one between the Deacs and Who's underway. The Virginia team that prides itself on everybody a rebounder when you hear Coach Mox talk about it. The size underneath for Wake Forest noticeable, though the Deacs can't cash in on this trip. Johnson kicks and a three rattles down. So a couple from the charity stripe.
Olivia McGee can get going early. It is Virginia's best on offense to be able to diversify those shots.
After the McGee three, takeaway on the defensive end as well, and it's finished on the other end of the floor. There's Clark now involved, a 7-0 run to begin it for UVA.
Well, they've started in a zone, a high 3-2. Olivia McGee up at the top, and it just oh yeah. Well, coaches always talk about it. It starts with them. It starts with their staff, and I think when they're able to focus there and build out, another three for Virginia.
Cavaliers 3 of 6 from the field when they've been able to get a shot up. You mentioned it. The passing lanes have been tough to come by. Here's Johnson. Dribbles right by, and there are the first points of the contest for Kimora Johnson. Chased out by Hines, and she's bodied up initially, but a nice feed inside, though Virginia was waiting. Johnson this time retreats and looks for options. Rims off, but the battle inside gives Lattimore a chance. Rebound away to Sorbian. Wake Forest has its first field goal. Took a while, 4 and change remaining. And a trio of free throws to put them on the board. Finally something happening from the field, but second and third chances for Virginia make the difference. What a resilient possession for UVA. Back in Kimora Johnson's hands. Picked up her first bucket toward the end of that first sequence, and everything falling for UVA. This one high off the glass.
And it has put a little bit of a fire in her. There is the three that was high on the glass.
Well, you saw her working hard in the interior, and sometimes you can just throw one up from distance. Heard from within, heard from without. She has 5 points in the contest. This disrupted right in front of the bench.
Just have to be on the same page there. That's Virginia's 6th turnover.
And the officials were on their toes. They're just not allowed to shoot it for either side. Our officials in this one, Timothy Bryant, Ashley Good, and Brandon Interline handling things in this one tonight. There's Johnson and company at it again. And what a smooth touch from Kimora Johnson.
Buckets in that first half. Kimora Johnson just trying to find a way to the basket.
Well, we talked about they did need her for that opening spurt. You know, Virginia pushed out 7-0 and beyond, but she has come to life now. And adding with it, how about this? Just able to tap it in and salvage the Wake possession. And she talked about how important it was going to be for Turcoff to learn how to score in the league, of course, and mentioned that the other bigs, as you said, Lauren, would be critical. Here's a chance with numbers for Wake to build on it, and suddenly the Deacons come to life as the period comes to a close. Yeah, Virginia just able to really have a barometer against Notre Dame the last time out. Wake Forest just about to have that. They're going to need more of this as they prepare for what is a brutal stretch. For the senior Reagan Conley to pull Wake back within striking distance.
Yeah, Wake Forest able to knock down their first three-point shot, just moving the ball around the perimeter.
Conley 1 for 3 from the field. Virginia does have an answer down the left side of the lane.
I mean, they cleared the side for her to do what she does best.
They keeping it on this end of the floor. Here's another look from the corner. This one will rattle down.
Wake Forest going in a defensive stop, to say the least, and that puts them right back in shooting distance.
Back to Johnson. All kind of open real estate on that side of the floor. 3 to the back of the iron, and it's Moore with the rebound.
Well, Virginia wasn't able to take advantage of that, but all eyes are on Kimora Johnson when she has the ball. She had, but it's just been the confidence that we've seen from her despite.
4 and change to go in the opening half. Another Virginia takeaway, and this one is laid home. The distance for Paris Clark. About SMU being in the league, and You got to mention, right, the West Coast as well, heavily involved. You're reminded when you think about those tangling at Moody Coliseum tonight. It'll be interesting to work through this league.
The role that she has on this Cavalier squad.
All the more important when it is a night that not all hands are on deck. Everybody is in the interior here for Wake Forest, and the Deacons secure an interior bucket. A couple of teams playing like a first ACC win this year rides on it. Stays with Wake, just trying to beat the horn. Nothing happening here, and Virginia will carry a lead.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty similar. Taking care of the ball for Virginia, and if you're Wake Forest, you want to take more efficient shots inside, and they started this game out going into the paint, and I'd like to see more of that for Wake Forest. But they take a good amount, making about 5.6 per game.
8 of 29 overall, so half that total coming from beyond the arc, and now more than half that total coming from beyond the arc.
Yeah, to set it in the open, Turcoff can find her rhythm beyond the three-point line. Doesn't matter how it comes.
Virginia will try a three. It goes down. Nguyen, nothing but net from the corner. Here's Johnson falling toward the bucket. Contact there, but a transition chance for Wake, as there was no whistle, and it will be laid home by the Deacs. Back to where we were at the half, 2-point game. As we've said about so many of these players who've had back-to-back buckets, either from the interior of the perimeter or the other way around, Turcoff accomplishes that feat. Here's a three from the other corner, and it's drained. Yeah, the first one for Clark, and now Clark, McGee, and Nguyen. 3 of the 5 on the floor with a made 3 in the contest, as Virginia has used that as their weapon.
That is so true. And Virginia and Wake Forest both looking for a bucket. They've been without, but Lattimore said, I'm going to change that. Time and time again, she steps into that shot with so much confidence and is able to knock it down.
There's the Miami transfer and a couple of career double-doubles. Miami and Texas stops along the way, and she and her teammates coming to life now.
Making it splash from deep. Here Hurd is running in transition and just runs to that. Another thing to take away, right? We talked about rebounding, which they've done a really good job here in this game with, and now the 3 is really biting them.
Look at Virginia share the basketball. You know who's going to finish this. Virginia advantage in 3s.
Just moving the ball, goes all the way around the perimeter back.
Solid afternoon and evening of hoops here on the ACC network. Johnson on the move. She dishes this, and the finish just as true for McGee, perhaps a little more.
In transition with a pretty no-look, might I add.
In the paint. Coles turns around, and remember, she started the three-point shooting on both sides. She'll try to reconnect. Won't get it to go down. The bucket will come from inside, and Hines who lays it home. Also of note, the Cavaliers turning the ball over just a couple of times in that third quarter with everything falling, much of it from beyond the arc. Here's Wake on the move, and this will be an and one chance for the Deacs if you're look like Lauren.
Oh yeah, and it's been back and forth.
Hines and company away with it.
Great poke out there for Paris Clark, and Kamora Johnson takes it the other way, and it's good.
The lead is steady 10. And the rebound handled inside by Hurd. Lattimore, Hurd quickly to Johnson.
The ball movement tonight for Virginia has reigned supreme. When they're able to swing it around and get different looks at the basket, they're able to move that defense and get very wide open shots.
We referenced that Johnson was on the doorstep of double figures. Hurd with that shot is there.
Oh, yes. Clemson had a very tight game against North Carolina State, and McGee for 3 is good.
Virginia's now 9 from beyond the arc. Rebounding was a story early for UVA. Three-point shooting has been that in the second half. were glancing ahead at it just a moment there beyond Clemson. The Cavaliers get Duke, then they play Virginia Tech on the road and NC State on the road. This stretch that's coming up right here.
Fly. So look here for any 3-point plays as they just ran an elevator for.
The fans here inside JPJ. Quick turnaround on the other end of the floor for Wake. 2.5 to play. Virginia with numbers, looking to pull away further. Johnson, just enough touch to lay it off the front of the iron for the finish. Long in this second half, Lauren.
Yeah, fast break is where they live. They like to get it out.
A little slow starting perhaps in the point category, but did so many other fine things as a part of that early Virginia run. Gonna have at least 13 on this night.
Oh, yeah.
In terms of that, as well as eyeballs on basketball in the Commonwealth. To build with a little home cooking here, and the 10th three of the night. There it is. You called for it.
More threes going up for Virginia. They run play after play for it. As some shooters step in.
Well, and you think about how many different individuals. You called for another three there, and you got it. And there are 7. Virginia in a battle for pace against Wake Forest. Sets it here at home. They are on the doorstep of 70. As Johnson will dribble it out, and it'll be a 69-46 final. Virginia